What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another news reaction video. Today we talk about what's next for Francis Ngannou. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications so you never miss an upload, so you never miss a live stream. And let's get right into it. Unlike every other YouTube channel out there, unlike everybody dissecting the fight, screaming bloody robbery, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not the boxing expert. Do I think he put on a good performance against Tyson Fury? Absolutely. But I want to focus on what is next for Francis Ngannou. And right off the bat, I have a bone to pick with Ariel Helwani. You were the one, much like myself, holding the flag, leading the charge for the only deserving heavyweight on the planet outside the UFC who's worthy to fight Francis Ngannou next. You were the one along my side to lead the charge, and now you completely leave him hanging out to dry? No. I do not stand for that. I still have his back. Before I remind you all, casuals, who that is, let's go over the options. I've outlined three. He's either fighting a PFL MMA heavyweight, he's gonna go again down the boxing route, or there's gonna be a cross-promotional MMA fight in his future. Let's start with the PFL. I only think there's three options. And I shouldn't even have to say I only think. There are only three options, okay? There are only three options in MMA in the PFL, okay? Number one, Ante Delija, 24-5 record. He's fought in KSW, Ryzen, and of course the PFL. Currently 8-2 in the Professional Fighters League. Another fighter, Bruno Capoloza, 16-6 as a pro. He's fought in Ryzen, Jungle Fight, the PFL, 5-1 in the promotion. And finally, Renan Ferreira, 11-3 as a pro. He's fought in the LFA, PFL most notably, and he's 5-1 in the Professional Fighters League. That's it. And I wasn't that familiar with them either. And if I didn't watch this season of the PFL, I wouldn't even know who they are. Two boxing options. There's only two options that the public, there's only two options that I feel Francis Ngannou would even be interested in. One is Deontay Wilder. And no, not in MMA, you fucking donkeys. In boxing, there is no Deontay Wilder in MMA. Just stop. It's the stupidest suggestion I have ever heard. Just stop. That is the stupidest shit I have ever heard. Deontay Wilder in boxing, keyword boxing, 43-2, 42 knockouts and 2 knockout losses, both to Tyson Fury. That is one option. The other is Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn's very interested in that fight now. Anthony Joshua's 26-3, 23 knockouts, and he's been knocked out once in his 3 losses, and that was to Andy Ruiz. I think he looked so bad in his last fight against Helenius.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
That was the worst boxing card I've ever seen. I just cannot stand Matchroom anymore as a result. But that's just me. It left a sour taste in my mouth. Funny enough, Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua's last wins have been to Robert Helenius. However, Joshua beat him on short notice, and he looked so bad doing so. Either of those options for Francis Ngannou are massive paydays. Now, let's get to the third option, the only option in my mind in mixed martial arts. And you might be thinking cross promotion with one championship and Toli Malkinen. Look, he is the best heavyweight option out there as far as competition goes. But Chatri has said, I'm not doing cross promotion if it's not with the UFC. Obviously, the UFC doesn't do cross promotion in this day and age. And furthermore, given the relationship with Francis Ngannou and Chatri, there's no way he's fighting in one. There's no way that Malkinen's fighting him cross-promotion PFL. That would be, competition-wise, I think the best heavyweight matchup in the world outside of Francis Ngannou, John Jones, because that ain't happening. I'm not even going to suggest that, guys. Okay? Again, casuals. The only option is Phil Duffree. There were rumblings. There were potential talks, potential phone calls between the two organizations. At least the fighters were being led to believe that there might be anyways. PFL's big star, hopefully not missing out on that opportunity, as just a few weeks ago, Phil Defree was featured on the MMA Hour, where Ariel Helwani was leading the charge that a cross-promotional fight between Phil Defree and Francis Ngannou would be the way to go.
Of the options out there, there is no heavyweight who's available, and I know you're with KSW, but they are obviously open to a co-promotion. Why wouldn't they be?
There is no other option
In any other promotion outside of the UFC who is doing better than you, who's on the roll that you're on, who has the resume that you have over the last few years, you versus Francis Ngannou next year when he finally comes back to MMA.
Let's make it happen. You know, Martin's a clever guy. Matchek's a good, clever guy. They can make it happen. You know, I think I'm the right sort of guy to beat Francis, so you need a grappler to beat that sort of guy, and I'll be more than happy to do it wherever, you know. Let's just get it on.
Okay, so let's hope no one's actually listening to this, Phil, because I want to try to help you get the fight.
There's no options in PFL. I listed 3. Do you guys even know who they are? Well, now you do upon reading the record. And if you don't know who Phil Defree is, if you're not a KSW fan, he is the best heavyweight in their promotion, and I would argue one of the best heavyweights in the world. Look, Anthony Malkinen, Phil Defree, outside the UFC, those are Francis Ngannou's options. That's it. End of story. It's not going to happen with one, so make it happen, KSW PFL. PFL's never come out and said we'll never do a cross promotion. They have nothing to lose and all to gain. It would be an entire new promotion's eyes, not to mention the UK, not to mention some UFC fans as well, as Phil Defree was in the UFC. Phil Defree does train with UFC fighters, Tom Aspinall being one of them in his small camp. And I truly think the PFL are sweating. Is their star really gonna want to fight in the frickin' smart cage? That disgrace of a cage in mixed martial arts that you're not even allowed to throw elbows in? Absolutely not. You think he's gonna go from the big lights of Saudi Arabia back to the 700 to 2,000 seater casinos or sub arenas to fight lesser known opponents? Those where, I'm sorry, the PFL will not be able to promote that. They won't. The interest will fade real fast, I'm telling you. The PFL needs to do something exciting. The PFL needs to do something out of the box. The PFL needs to remain, though, in a mixed martial arts lane that is respectable. Going full freak show and bringing in Deontay Wilder to fight MMA is the dumbest shit I have ever heard. Nobody wants to see that. We all know how it's gonna go. One leg kick, Deontay Wilder's down, ground and pound, over. There you go. There's the fight. Save your $80 to $100. They need to do something to excite Francis too. You're telling me that an MMA fight against Deontay Wilder is gonna excite Francis? He's gonna tell us all in the media, yeah? Come on, guys. Come on. A lot of you who watch these videos are a lot older than me. You're smarter than me. You know that's not true. The PFL needs to do something that not only excites Francis, but excites the world. Keyword world. There's no one worthy in the PFL. The UFC is not an option. KSW is open for it. Phil Defree has said so himself. He's even nudged. He's even suggested, he's even hinted that the promotion has had this in their back pocket, that they understand the situation. And I am backing it 100%. KSW is one of the best promotions outside of North America. Entertainment-wise, for developing prospects, it really is. That's undeniable. And our fan base on this channel knows that. Phil Defree, again, for those of you who are like, who's this guy you're talking about, Isha? I've at least heard of these 3 guys in PFL. Phil Defree is 24-6-0. He is on a 12-fight win streak, and he's defended his freaking title 9 times, and he's been in 10 title fights consecutively. 10 title fights, defended it 9 times on a 12-fight win streak. Unbelievable, okay? This is the guy. Why not put one of the baddest heavyweights in the world in Phil Defree, whose promotion ran out of guys for him to fight, and put him up against the lineal heavyweight champion in Francis Ngannou? That is the only option. I'm leading the charge for Phil.
I want to try to help you get the fight.
That's some bullshit.
He deserves it, and I think this would create so much buzz. They could make this a world event. It's the only option for me. Phil Defree, Francis Ngannou, make it happen. That's it for this video here today. Like and subscribe. Comment who you think Francis Ngannou should fight next in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one.
I want to try to help you get the fight.
That's some bullshit.